Hi there, I'm Gigi, and thank you so much for joining me for today's tarot reading. If you like tarot readings, I would love it if you would give me a little subscribe or a like. That would help me out immensely. And today, unfortunately, I'm not sure what the name or creator of this deck is. It was gifted to me, and I really love it, but couldn't tell you who it's by or what it's called. So if anybody recognizes it and knows that information, please drop a comment down below, because then I'll know and I can tell the rest of the world about this lovely little deck. So today we are getting a message from the universe. And the first thing I always like to do is to shuffle these cards to make sure that you get your own tarot reading and not a leftover of the last one that I did. So we're just going to separate these little guys out into 4 piles, which I then shuffle back together. I like to do this for 2 reasons. Number one, it really mixes up these cards, and my shuffling skills are inconsistent at best, so that's very helpful. But number 2, it gives me an opportunity to center and ground. And if I have a question, this is the time where I would concentrate on that particular question. Today, we are seeking a message from the universe. What do you need to know as you go forward today? I am hoping that the big trucks working on the street outside will be quiet for a couple of minutes so that we can have a nice peaceful tarot reading, but we'll see if they cooperate. All right. Beautiful. So now we're going to take 2 of these piles and riffle them back together. This is where things fall apart for me usually, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, not too bad today. And then I like to cut that pile into the other 2. And then we fan them out. Okay, so we have our 3 piles, and the way that you choose your pile, you can do it one of 2 ways. We've got 3 crystals here, and you can either choose by crystal, whichever one appeals to you, or whichever pile you're just drawn to. So let's say the middle one just really calls to you, regardless of what crystal has it. That's okay, that's the pile for you. So pile number 1 is going to be this pile all the way to my left, and it is going to have this pretty little purple lepidolite on top of it. Pile number 2 is directly in front of me in the middle, and it's going to get this funky little green fluorite. And finally, pile number 3 all the way to the right gets this awesome flamestone, also known as euperlite. This is reactive under UV light. I wish I had one to show you, but unfortunately I do not. But it glows these really cool little bright orange flecks. So if you ever have the opportunity to check out a flamestone or euperlite, check it out. It's pretty cool. Okay, so take a minute, pick your pile, and then go ahead and go to the timestamp so that you can find your message for today. And we'll begin. Hi there, pile number 1. We are ready to begin your reading. So this is the message that the universe has for you today. And this lovely little lepidolite is really good for focusing. So if you've been having some trouble getting your mind quieted and kind of like that laser focus, this is a good crystal for you. Okay. So pile number 1, the first thing we want to talk about is striving for excellence. And I really love ambition and drive because they make amazing things happen. But the thing about that is that sometimes it drives us towards perfectionism as well. And perfectionism can lead to procrastination, which delays the start of the good things that you want to do. So my advice to you with this 6 of Wands card would be, don't worry about it being pretty or perfect. Just put it out there. Also, we've got our 3 of Pentacles. Now this one is inversed. So the idea here is that when you're making efforts to collaborate and cooperate with other people, you have to remember that you can't control their reactions and their moods. You can only control yourself and how you choose to respond. So when you're working with other people, take a moment, take a breath before you speak, and decide intentionally, how am I going to play into this situation? Am I going to be helpful? Am I going to perpetuate the problem? Or do I simply need to walk away? Because sometimes that's the best solution. And finally, we have the devil, which is telling us that, again, we have to be really intentional with the things that we're doing in our day to day life. If we don't have a strong intention for our actions, usually what happens is we wind up doing things out of force of habit or bad habit. So if there's something in your life that you're doing that's not taking you towards your goal, but it's kind of redirecting you in a different direction, which is what redirect means, but you know what I'm saying. We want to deprogram whatever you're doing and reprogram it with something that's more aligned with your goals and who you want to become. So for example, let's say that you really want to start paying more attention to your bodily health, and so you're going to stop smoking cigarettes. I think that's great. But if you just stop smoking the cigarettes and don't put anything in its place to help orient you towards your goal, more than likely some other habit is going to sneak in, and it might not be one that you want. So really be a planner and a designer of your day so that you can make sure you're making the most out of every day that you have here on this earth. So to sum up, don't worry about pretty and perfect, just create and have fun with it. When you're dealing with other people, remember that you can only control your own responses and actions. So be intentional about how you interact with others and how you interact with yourself and the world around you. Make sure that if you're changing habits, that you're reprogramming yourself with something that is going to align you with your goals and head you in the direction that you want to be going. I hope that this reading was illuminating and entertaining for you. If you like, you can join me for my goodbye message at the end, or if this is all that you need, thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Take care. Hi there, pile number 2. You chose this stripy little green fluorite, and fluorite is really good for the mind, for focusing, for your intuition and awakening that third eye, opening it up a little bit more. Fluorite is definitely a really versatile stone when we're dealing with matters of the mind. So this is your message from the universe today. This is what you need to hear, and I'm just your interpreter. So let's see what's coming through. Beautiful. So pile number 2, I feel like you've been going through an ocean of emotion recently. And that's totally okay. There are seasons in our life where we have a lot of emotions and we have to decide how we're going to deal with them. So the first card that we have coming up is your Queen of Cups, which she is telling you to nurture these emotions. Don't shove them down and try not to feel them. You want to really give attention and awareness to these emotions and cultivate them, because otherwise they're going to keep coming back and knocking on your door louder and louder. Our second card is the Two of Swords, and this card is telling us that it's time to limit distractions. So when you go about your life, and let's say that you make a choice about something that you're going to do, be very discerning about who you talk to about that and whose advice you take, because everybody's got an opinion. And a lot of the people who care about you are going to want to keep you safe and comfortable, but that's not where you grow. So you have to be able to kind of earmuff yourself and listen to that quiet voice inside rather than all the external chatter. It's totally okay to ask people for their advice, but at the end of the day, you're your most important person. And I know that for some people that may sound selfish, but think about it. You came into this world by yourself, and someday you're going to leave it, most likely by yourself. So you've got to really have a good relationship with you. And part of that is listening to your own internal knowing and trusting that you know what's best for you. Finally, we have the Star card, one of my favorite cards. This is a card of hope. This is a card of looking ahead to the little tiny light at the end of the tunnel and watching it grow bigger as you get closer and closer. So if you feel like things around you have been a little bit dark lately, take heart. because your light is right there at the end of the tunnel. You just have to keep moving your feet one in front of the other so that you can get closer and closer and eventually find that light. So to sum up for today, nurture your emotions, don't ignore them. Limit external distractions and listen to your quiet inner voice. Trust it and know that you have the tools that you need to survive and to thrive. And finally, have hope and look ahead to what's coming in the future, because that's where all the good stuff is. I hope that this reading was illuminating and entertaining for you. And if you'd like, you can join me at the end of the video for my goodbye message. If not, if this is all that you need, thank you so much for joining me. And I hope that you have a magnificent rest of your day. Take care. Hi there, pile 3. Thank you so much for joining me today. You picked the flame stone. So if there's something in your life that's turned into a little coal or ember, we want to get your bellows out and feed that flame so that it can get nice and fiery and bright again. So today's reading is your message from the universe, and I am your interpreter. So let's see what the universe has to say to you today. Right. Well, the first thing I want to encourage you to do is to really chase after the things that inspire you. Look for things in your life that light you up, that you can't stop thinking about, that you love talking about. Those are the sorts of things that are going to bring you so much joy and abundance. And it's also where you're going to find the people that are really meant to be part of your chosen family. So find the things that you're passionate about or that inspire you and go towards them full force. Our second card is the Strength card. And this is telling us that this is a time for finesse, not force. So if you tend to go through life beating at things like a hammer until you finally get through and get your way, consider going at things a little bit more like a feather now. It would be wise for you to kind of plant a little seed in someone's mind or put a little bug in their ear and then walk away from it, because it's up to them what to do with it, right? So use your words, use your charm. Don't use your brute force to try and get people to see your way. Yeah. Finally, we have our King of Swords. And this card is encouraging you to look beyond the situation you're in now. So try to see things from more of a bird's eye view perspective. It's almost like if you were standing at the top of a big mountain or like a vista, and you could see your life spread out before you. You can then more easily prioritize what things need your attention right now and what can take a little breather. And then you can also see beyond where you are into, okay, where do I want to be going? And where is the gap between where I want to be and where I am now? And what actions do I need to take to fill in that gap to get to where I want to be? So to summarize, chase after the things that inspire you and light you up inside. Use finesse, not force, to try and get to people to see your point of view. And look beyond the situation that you're in now to what's ahead and where you want to be. So that way you can align your current actions with your future outcome. I hope that this reading was illuminating and entertaining for you. And if you'd like, you can join me at the end of the video for my goodbye message. If not, this is all you need. I hope that you have a magical day. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for joining me for today's reading. I really hope that it was helpful for you and it gives you something to think about as you go about your day. If you like what you saw today, please subscribe so that you don't miss any of my future readings. And once a month, I also upload a little vlog so you can explore a day in the life of a tarot reader and see a little bit about the beautiful place where I live. So if that interests you, hit that subscribe button, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.